Hey guys, this is Joe. I wanted to talk to you today about the priestly benediction, Birchat Cohanim, as it's known in Hebrew. Very ancient benediction coming from the book of Numbers. Aaron and his descendants were commanded to bless the people of Israel. Amongst the oldest, if not the oldest, biblical inscription ever found was the Aaronic benediction, found in Kotel, just outside of the old city of Jerusalem today. This was a blessing that the priest gave to the Jewish people in the temple. Forget about that, in the tabernacle, going all the way back to the time of Aaron. So we're talking about a blessing that is several thousand years old until today. In fact, one of the hallmarks of the celebration of Sukkot and Pesach is the Aaronic benediction, Birchat Cohanim, that takes place at the Kotel, the western wall, on the second day of Chol Hamoed, which is one of the intermediate days of the holidays of Passover or Sukkot, and therefore everybody would be able to participate in this affair. Now it's interesting, in our times, since the destruction of the temple in the year 70, this is not something that happened frequently amongst the Jewish people, but we did have, depending upon one's custom, either several times a year according to the Ashkenazic rite or daily according to the Sephardic rite, the blessing of the priest. But a huge blessing in Mass is a fairly recent introduction, and I would like to tell over that story today as how that came about. It all started in the summer of 1970. Two rabbis learning in Mea Shearim. One's name was Rabbi Menachem Mendel Gefner, and his study partner, his chavrusa, Rabbi Shmuel Haminer, had finished wrapping up their studies and were looking out the window when Rabbi Shmuel came and said, "You know what? It's quite interesting. There's only one yahrzeit, one anniversary of the death of a famous biblical personality mentioned in the entire Tanakh. And that is that of Aaron Cohen. And what's interesting is that's coming right around the corner from where they were at that time. According to the Bible, Aaron Cohen died in the 5th month on the first day of the month, which translates out to the first day of the Hebrew month of Av. And they said, you know what, it'd really be cool to do something to commemorate and to give honor to Aaron the Cohen. They wanted to organize 71 Kohanim to go and give the Aaronic benediction, Birchat Cohanim, in honor of Aaron the Cohen. Rabbi Menachem Mendel was a man of action. Unfortunately, he fell very ill within the 3 weeks just before the anniversary of Aaron's death, and it didn't come to fruition. Fast forward to the 10 days of penitence, the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The two of them, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Gefner and Rabbi Shmuel, were sitting together when Rabbi Shmuel's son walked in and showed Rabbi Gefner a manuscript from the Rokeach, which was 700 years prior to them, that stated that if 300 Kohanim would be organized and go to the Mount of Olives overlooking the temple and give the priestly benediction, that Mashiach, the Messiah, would come. Very excited, he decided to jump into action and organize this once again. It was a little late to plan it before the holiday of Sukkot, so he went and galvanized his rabbinic contacts, contacting the Ger Rebbe and the Vizhnitzer Rebbe, as well as the Steipler Gaon, and after receiving their blessings, put the word out and scheduled it to happen in the month of Kislev. Now in the land of Israel, not a drop of rain falls between the holidays of Passover and Sukkot, but after Sukkot, we enter into the rainy season. And sure enough, for Reb Gefner, this is what happens. The forecast is rain all throughout the week. 2 days before the scheduled event, pouring rain. 1 day before, pouring rain. He gets up in the morning, he's like, is this going to work? Is anybody even going to show up? He says, you know what, we just got to give it a shot anyway. So he hails a taxi and makes his way to the Kotel takes out his umbrella, starts walking towards the plaza, where he is greeted by the sight of hundreds of Kohanim wanting to do this benediction. This serves as a serious shot in the arm for Rabbi Gefner, and ultimately it goes off. It was an amazing success, and between the years of 1971 to 1978, this benediction was done 5 times a year, organized by Rabbi Gefner each time. From 1978 and onwards, it was done twice a year during the Chol HaMoed, the intermediate days of Passover and Sukkot. And that is the custom that we see today, which draws thousands. It's a televised event connecting to the historic element. This was something from biblical times, literally over 3,000 years ago, Jews were doing in the land of Israel. So whether one is religious or not, this is a major affair within Israeli culture. And that is the history of how this cultural phenomenon came to be once again reborn in the land of Israel. Everybody from the northern tip of Israel all the way down to Eilat can tune in and watch this, as well as people online across the world. This is a major affair, and all brought back because 2 guys thought it would be a cool idea to honor Aaron the priest. Thanks for watching.